Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. I have such a special interview for you today, and I'm so excited to introduce you to the incredible Zhenya Evans. She's the author of the transformative new book called Zesty Life 365. You are going to want to get a copy. It's the perfect time, although it's a perpetual calendar and it's a perpetual guide to set your year up for amazingness. This is the best time of year if you're listening to this, watching this in January, right? Sometimes we want to set up our year for success and just take that time to really look into how we can achieve more balance in our life, joy, and just even personal growth. And so Zhenya is a powerhouse of positivity and radiance, a first generation immigrant from Siberia. She's also a registered dietitian and a positive psychology expert. And she has trained with legends like Martin Seligman and James Pawelski. She's incredible. She is zesty. She embodies zesty life. So I'm so excited to welcome Zhenya Evans to the show. Her book is a blend of science, practical tools, just even heartfelt wisdom. You feel like she's right there beside you, helping you design your life that's full of joy and health and growth. And so I am so excited to welcome you to the show. Thank you so much for being here, Zhenya.
Thank you so much, Andrea. Such a flattering introduction. It's incredible to hear. Thank you so very much. I just wanted to make a small remark. It's not quite a book; it's a planner, right? So I don't want to overcommit. It's a book in terms that we have some theory at the beginning, but all in all, it's just your planning tool. It's your well-being companion. So I kind of call it planner, not a book for now.
I love that. And you know me, I'm from the book world, and what I find and why I that word comes out of my mouth is that you have a wealth of information and knowledge. And sometimes planners, they just seem like you're going to open it up and kind of plan your life, and it's like you put the information in. What I love about your planner is that it really walks you through so much in terms of learning and how to create your own blueprint for happiness and well-being. And so I love this. And yes, it is an amazing planner, but it's a planner that is like next level planner. So thank you so much for that clarification. I love that. So
And thank you so much for
congratulations.
your comment. Thank you so much.
Congratulations on your book, Zenya. And so tell us what inspired you to create this book. Like what makes it super unique compared to other planners and self-help guides?
You know, I couldn't find a good planner for me. I was using several different tools and was pulling parts from here and there. And my husband was just saying, "Why don't you create your own?" And I'm like, "Uh-huh, of course." And then 2 degrees later, 2 advanced degrees later, and 4 years later, it's finally here because it was a labor of love. Pieces and parts were coming together as a big puzzle in my head. So basically, the main inspiration probably came from my own need. But I always had sort of a higher bar for the planner for myself because I not only wanted to be productive and get some things done, goal accomplishment and all that, but I also wanted to really focus on well-being, make sure that I'm consistent with sleeping, eating, exercising, calling my family. We live so far. We live on different continents for years, and it was very important for me to stay in touch with my friends and family. So I was kind of weaving in various parts of various products. So that's my story, both accomplishments and productivity and well-being, like accomplishments without sacrificing your well-being. That I would say was my idea, which I couldn't really find.
Well, first of all, thank you for filling this need. And also, how That's so true. Like so many times these planners or these guides or like, setting goals are just focused on accomplishment and they're missing those other pieces and elements. So it's just incredible that your book does factor in all these things to really do create balance and like you said, even a matter of connection and reaching out and adding that element of well-being into your planning, right? And so it's really a whole being, a holistic approach to living, and that really does set your book aside. I 100% agree. And thank you so much for filling a need. I love when people do that. When, like, you know what, I can't find the book. Okay, let me use my knowledge, my degrees, and everything that I've trained, and my life experience to create something that's truly remarkable. So, this book does blend the science of mindfulness as well as the science of positive psychology. Can you share a little bit about how these principles of positive psychology and mindfulness are woven into your book?
Yes, definitely. Because I started thinking about developing a planner before I went to Penn to study positive psychology. And after the completion of the degree, I realized, oh my God, what a wealth of knowledge I must share. And it all came together as a final masterpiece. May I say masterpiece? Um, I definitely was inspired by well-recognized well-being model by Marty Seligman, which called PERMA. It's a abbreviation of positive emotion, engagement, relationship, meaning, and accomplishment. So I used that framework as a foundation. And then I used a lot of interventions which are scientifically proved that they enhance in our well-being, like a power of gratitude, with a certain regularity of reflecting on the moments of you're grateful for, and then imagining your best possible future. I kind of like I adopted it in my own for my own philosophy because I'm not only talking about one big future, I'm talking about different domains of life. I believe that balance exists among different domains. You cannot be only focused on your mental health, but not pay attention to your physical health or your professional well-being or financial well-being. I kind of found a model which is comprehensive. So it kind of came not technically from positive psychology, but also from psychology. So I would say I just used the most powerful interventions, which were tested on me and on thousands of other people, and they are not only research informed, but evidence based, basically. Yeah, journaling, mindfulness, gratitude, best possible future, Burma model, importance of positivity, um, social connections, nurturing positive social connection. There's so much. Yeah, I'm also talking about person activity feet, an important concept that talks about differences in our own individual kind of response to every intervention. So you may find gratitude a little bit more potent for you individually, and my husband may not really see as much benefit from that. And it's okay. You just have to find your person activity fit. You just have to keep searching, keep trying, keep staying open-minded. So that's
I
basically
love
my
that.
positive psychology layer, which is a
Yeah.
foundation pretty much too.
Is definitely a beautiful foundation in your book. And I love that you have so many positive psychology interventions and just mindfulness interventions and the way you look at the whole being and your whole life to design your zesty life because it does brings it all together and allows us to customize. And that's what I love about your book. It allows us to customize what works for us, with the guidance of you kind of holding our hand along the way. And I love that you've pulled all your favorites. It's like your book is like a blend of so many amazing interventions that can help so all of us figure out, what is it for me that would make a zesty life for me, right? And so I think that's so
Mm.
powerful. So what do you hope the readers will gain from using your planner, Zesty Life 360?
Um, I believe that they will get inspiration. They will gain a little bit more clarity. of what's important for them in their lives, where they are now, and definitely cultivate more self-acceptance and understanding of their directionality, because I believe we all function better with a better sense of control, not obsessive control, but healthy control, where you feel like you're a driver in the driver's seat of the car of your life. That's how I want people feel. That's how I want to feel myself. That's how I coach my patients here at the hospital when it just all about that confident feeling. And with every single page of my planner, I'm kind of providing you with tools and reassurance that we got this, we can do this. You don't have to be obsessed about certain things. You may just strive for more harmony and balance versus than like, you know, precise metrics. So I guess it's more about feel than it's something else with like ABCDs in terms of accomplishment. I want them to feel psychological safety. I want everyone feel hugged, and but most importantly, just sure that they got this in maybe right now the situation and specific domain and sphere of life is not perfect, but there are some small steps which can get you to a better place. It doesn't have to be perfect. Never. It never is. Perfect doesn't exist. And but progress makes it great.
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful message that is. Like, first of all, that we have agency, that we're the agents of our life, and that
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
through your book, you 100% encourage that. And it does feel like a warm hug when we're working through your book. And the other thing that I love is just this whole concept of your book, it weaves in all the positive psychology and everything, but what people get out of it is exactly that, is that the realize that it doesn't have to be these big massive goals or these metrics that we need to set, which can feel, it may set us up for potential feeling like we failed. Or I love that you break it down to more, it's an embodiment of how is it that we want to be. And it's not necessarily like looking to the future and I need to sell 1 million books, or like, or like have like make X amount of money. It's more like, you know what? I want to feel a joy-filled life that inspires and has a ripple effect on the world. Or, like I'm just making that up as we go. But it's that's what I love. And I do believe the reader will get that out of your book, is that, you know what, this is just like, you know what, let me pivot here. It's not perfection. It's like, here, like, let me pivot, and here's some small intentional actions that I can take that'll help bring about balance in my life. And so it's very I guess it's a, what's the word? It's very approachable, your book, and it allows us to have this grace and this sense of giving ourselves permission to be human feel to it, which is so beautiful. So it's not your typical
Mhm.
planner, let's put it that way. Okay, so for someone who might be feeling overwhelmed at the thought of making big changes, and that's kind of a segue for this question, I guess, is how does Zesty Life 365 help them get started without feeling that intimidation?
Um, I'm talking a lot about measurable steps, smart goal setting, long-lasting habit formation tools. It's actually, it actually shows you that big changes are not necessary, and big changes come as a outcome of like small, tiny, very intentional steps. Consistency matters much more, regardless of the domain we're speaking of, like health domains. And I give some examples. For example, when we talk about, so basically in each domain, I have some behaviors and have some recommendations where you can get started. And you can see that even if you want to improve your diet, it's January, everyone wants to improve their diet for some
Yeah.
reason, for some unknown reason, right? Um, just kind of instead of saying, okay, now I'm trying this or this, and absolutely shift everything for me and my whole family and feel so overwhelmed, I can just focus on one tiny measurable thing. I'll just add a little bit more vitamins and fiber in terms of like a one more cup or even half a cup of non-starchy vegetables to my dinner or to my lunch. It can be a handful of beautiful, vibrant spinach, or like some sauteed broccoli or mushrooms, or like handful of cherry tomatoes for a snack. It can be so easy and measurable, but you will already increase your fiber intake and vitamin intake. And once you're doing it for a week or 2 weeks, you may want to drink more water. You may want to snack more on fruit. Like it never needs to be big. And I think my main philosophy is embracing that fact, regardless with what ambition you came, whether you want to move a mountain and you feel empowered to do that, I still bring you to small steps. Or you're just very overwhelmed and you scared. And then I'm saying, don't worry, you can just stay as you are, or just start by small attainable steps, in whatever domain you want. Or not, you can just use it as a planner. And then whenever you're ready, you can pencil it in for the future, and wait until you're ready. We are very delicate pieces of the universe. So we have to respect that we are just humans. We're not robots or anything like that.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And it's so true, right? And I set the intention that I wanted to hit the goal of walking 10,000 steps. I bought this cute little pedometer and I thought that's what I'm going to make my habit tracking that. Like, and so even that small little addition to my day, so it became a game. It was fun. I was measuring it. And then if I didn't quite have my 10,000 steps, by the end of the day or later in the evening, I'll go take my dogs for a quick tour around the circle, and it's just so motivating. Then I would start checking off every single day that I did my steps. And it's such a small thing that I added to my days. And now I don't even put it on my habit tracker because now it's just like Andrea walks 10,000 steps every day. And so it's so fun. And you're so right, is that just picking one small thing, like maybe it's morning pages, like morning journaling, like waking up and just spending the time where you just talk through your day or any of the challenges or what you're expecting or three good things. Or I love this, that it's just, you're so right. It can be such the smallest little things that you can integrate into your day. And that does take the overwhelm. If I think about, my all these, sometimes when we think about these big goals and it's overwhelming, and it can be overwhelming. So I love your approach, and that it does feel very approachable and attainable. And actually it's like, hey, cool. Like, I can check that off. Like for today, I drank all my water, like whatever it is. And it's just, okay, or today I reached out to 3 social media, like, if that's part of your business, your domain and your accomplishment. So I love the approach, and that it is actually approachable for those who might feel that overwhelm when it comes to goal setting.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I thank you for that, because yes, indeed, we start with some priorities in the morning, so you reflect on your intentions and what's important, and at night you have opportunity to reflect first your lessons you've learned, your gratitude. I mean, I actually offer gratitude once a week because some studies saying that we can express gratitude every day, but we have the biggest boost of um, I would say well-being when it's a little less frequent. So yes, you're right. You're right. We definitely have all this like metrics. If you would like to use them, it will be wonderful. If not, you can just again um, design it in a way which feels authentic to you.
yes, that's amazing. And now
Mhm.
you yourself have overcome a lot of personal challenges in your journey. And so how did these experience influence you creating this planner? How did that help you, like with your own writing prompts and your own gratitude practices?
Um, yeah, thank you so much for asking. I've been immigrant for so long. It taught me so very many lessons. Definitely how to organize your time, how to make sure you're always on time for your appointments, for the important interviews. I've been student for all my life. Just last year, I'm probably not a full-time student, first time in my life. Um, Yes, I definitely learned the importance of all of this. First, about envisioning your day, the day or the week before, right? Planning everything carefully, because you cannot really, without having it on calendar, you cannot make stuff happen. You cannot write an essay on time, or prepare for a test, or come for that important immigration interview, or fly to a different part of the world on time, making all three connections happen. So I would say it all started with a practicing the organization of your day. I was probably like 9 years old when I started this because I was doing like musical school and regular school, and there was always like some schools and schedules aligned. And I was a pretty good student at school as well, so I was doing my homework. um, and then I would say that importance, and then later I realized that you cannot really be doing it all. You have to have clarity on your priorities. There's so much information on importance to focusing on couple or maybe three tasks in a day, which you should, pour your attention and energy in, and then kind of let other things to be optional or maybe saved for the next day. So it was very, very helpful in terms of like exam preparation or something like that. I would never. Um, so I started practicing that, and then with degree in positive psychology, and then even a little before that, just the importance of optimism, the importance of strong mindset, the importance of um, embracing the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset, where you just know, okay, I don't know how to do this thing yet, but there's some ways to learn and I can always improve. And as long as you adopt that mindset, you can do virtually anything. I came to America with English below intermediate level. I had a big dream to continue my education here. It wasn't enough, so I needed to start taking ESL classes, English second language. So without embracing the fact that I can do this, or just started my immigration process, which we all know takes like 5 to 10 years for regardless of the route you take. I just needed to trust the process and say, I got this. It will be step by step, but it will be attainable. So yeah, I would say I was living and then kind of reflecting on what's working, what's not. And then the degrees kind of help me to crystallize that it's not only my knowledge, but it's also common knowledge now. Um, so yeah, I don't know if I answered your questions.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your personal experience. I was curious, like how you navigated some personal challenges along the way, or just like, because, life is ups and downs and you've accomplished so much yourself. And so it's so nice to hear just what worked for you and what helped you along the way. And I love the idea that you make tasks every day and we can't, and your message is we can't do it all. And so breaking it down to what are the top 3 priorities? What are the 3 tasks that we want to accomplish today? And again, I love that you take like big things like getting all your degrees and things like that too, and like, immigration and everything like that. And it sounds like you just chunk it down each day into a manageable size and then adopt this beautiful growth mindset where it's like, okay, I don't know how to do this yet, or I haven't figured this out yet, but I'm going to figure it out, like with a curious mindset. I love that. And then also just I hear the inner encourager in you in this, like, I got this, like, we can do this. I can, like, we'll figure it out. And I just like, thank you for letting us into your world because I think that that really shows us why this is such a powerful planner. So,
Mm.
okay, so bonus question here for the listeners. I'm curious. So, for anyone listening, and we're ready to make 2025 an amazing year. What's one simple actionable tip or exercise from Zesty Life 365 that can help them start doing it? They can help start today. What they can do today to bring more zest into their life.
What a great question. What a great question. Again, first thing comes to my mind is person activity fit. It's not one cookie cutter for all. I think we all need to think what's working and what brings my own zest. My main message is a zesty life. It's not about being energized and happy all the time. It's about having this energy to live and to dream. You don't have to become extrovert if you're an introvert. You just have to understand who you are and what motivates you to stay your most zesty self, right? So I would say um, try doing an exercise which I walk you through, which called best possible future. You just kind of create a little visualization of your best self um, in the future. it doesn't have to be like far future. It can be, in a couple of months or in a half a year or in 1 year. And just think in whatever domain, health, wealth, whatever, and just be there. And obviously, it's an intervention. There are certain steps, but kind of journal and feel it and embody it. And then just trust the process. And if this is your vision, if this is your authentic goal, you have this intention, you're likely, even if you don't see the path right now there, your brain will start working with like offering you some ideas of how to get there. um, that's very invigorating exercise, and it's designed to help you with understanding your true wants and needs. And yes, it does require a little bit of quiet time and a little bit of a deeper dive, but I honestly do it twice a year around birthday and around New Year's, because you feel this energy is just there in the air. And I highly recommend it to most people. And it should not bring you down. It actually should empower you, because this is your true desire. And make sure it's about you, not about someone you actually cannot control, your children, your loved ones. It's about you and your own version of yourself in the future. And yeah, just see where it will bring you. And then kind of small measurable steps in the right direction, and you'll get there. Or maybe you will get somewhere else, which will be even more perfect for you in
Oh,
yours,
oh my
even
God.
your unique life.
That's incredible. And I think that it's just a matter of taking that time, that solitude, turning inward. And I love that suggestion. And also because then you'll tap into your own needs and your own desires and what's important
Exactly.
for you. And yes, I see
And
your finger.
unleash the, that adult mindset with like, oh, but I cannot because I don't know how, or it's not very practical. You just go there and you envision that thing you want, or that state you want to be in, right?
Oh, I
And you
love
just
that.
let yourself dream, because sometimes our rational minds are just blocking us from that beautiful state where your true dreams live. And without accessing it, we can't really start thinking on, how can I get there actually? Because you likely can. This is your dream. This is you. Um, I mean, I did that personally, and I would never be where I am without just letting myself dream. As a little girl, as a 21-year-old immigrant, as a child of mother who had a disabled child, and was very like, I didn't know that life like I live now exists, like, without dreaming about it. I didn't need to know. I just needed to feel how I want to feel. Empowered, confident, um, self-made woman, having my American dream come through. Not true, but true. Sorry, my English is still not perfect, but it's much better than lower intermediate. Um, yes, so
Oh.
that's the intervention I would invite you to do. And it is in my planner, but it is also designed by Sonia Lubamirsky. And if you want to read it from the source, you can definitely get familiar with her work. She is wonderful, wonderful expert, positive psychology.
Oh my gosh, Zhenya, like you embody this, and it's so exciting to know that you have been doing this future best self over the years, and you have literally created such a beautiful life for yourself and just are such an inspiration to me and to, I'm sure, anyone who meets you. And I'm just so grateful for meeting you and for you being on the show today and for creating Zesty Life 365. It's an amazing planner. And if you want to leave the listener with one final thing, what would that be?
Be the light you want to see in the world.
Ah, well, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your passion with us today. It's clear that Zesty Life 365 is more than just a book, it's a planner. And it's a gift that anyone will benefit from if they're looking to live life a little bit more balanced, to bring more joy into their life, to help with personal growth. And so, to all the listeners or the viewers, don't wait to get your hands on this. It's such an incredible resource. It's available everywhere that they sell books, Amazon, obviously. And so, grab your copy today and let's make 2025 the year of living with purpose, positivity, and zest. Thank you so much for joining us. And Zhenya, congratulations again for your amazing
Thank you so
accomplishment.
much. Thank you, Andrea. You're a joy to be guided by and to work with and to be your guest. Thank you so much. You radiate that energy and you amplify my zest. Definitely. So thank you for that.